Okay, so it's a privilege to be here, and we'll be discussing about different topics on HeaWea. And let me quickly introduce myself. I've done a PhD in experimental physics from BITS Pilani, one of the premier institutes in India. Prior to that, I've done post-graduation and undergraduation from Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Andhra Pradesh and Bangalore campuses. After my PhD, I have done some teaching uh, at university level. I taught physics at university level. And during my tenure, academic tenure, I have also published several research articles on computational nanoscience in reputed international journals. So, my connection with frequency has been since my academic career, and I have been doing a lot of work regarding the same. And after my teaching career, in fact, during my teaching career, I was into several healing modalities like theta healing, Reiki, access consciousness, now healing, Paira Vastu, and I have Center of Excellence certified iridology diploma, master diploma in alternative medicine. I work with the pyramids, magnets, orgonites, etc. So that's not the entire list. I do many other things, and it's wonderful to be here and share my knowledge about the device, the powerful portable device, the HeaWea. So we'll be talking about that device today. So what would be the content of my presentation? That is important. So I'll be introducing the HeaWea MicroGen to you all. Its features, its different modes, hardware specifications and operation. What do we mean by firmware upgrade? And when to reset a MicroGen? How do you install the software? How do you operate the software? Details of different modes of operation, how to create or delete custom programs, checking if MicroGen is working or not, and running MicroGen using Spooky2 software. Finally, ending with some Q&As. So without wasting time, let us continue with the presentation. So introduction and features of HeaWea. So HeaWea MicroGen is the world's most advanced FDA-registered portable frequency therapy device. It offers 4 modes of operation, and these are very simple modes. Okay, it's like more or less click of a button. These are very simple to handle. So the first mode is the Bob Beck blood purifier mode. Second mode is Hulda Clark Zapper. Third mode is microcurrent, the low power frequency mode. Fourth is high power frequency mode, right? We'll be discussing in details each and every mode. So features of HeaWea. HeaWea is small and portable. It fits inside a pocket, doesn't require any external power source once completely charged. It has inbuilt rechargeable battery, which is capacity 1200 mAh lithium polymer battery. So it gives full day operation. You can charge it from any USB port. and it can be charged from PC, phone charger. It is very simple to charge it, it's not an issue at all. And it is simple to program and run. So once you copy the programs onto HeaWea MicroGen using laptop or your computer, then it is good to go after that. You don't need computer anymore. It offers massive database of around 60,000 programs, right? If you're using through Spooky 2, you have lot many programs available. You will see how to do that. It is usually a button operation. If you long press the microgen, the central square button, it will turn the microgen on or off. However, if you short press the button, it will select the different power level or the intensity of the therapy. Now, there is current limiting protection to HeaWea. So you never have to worry about the current fluctuation. It takes care on its own. It provides 5 powerful levels of power starting from 10 volt, 20 volt, 30 volt, 40 volt, and finally 60 volt. So there are multiple power ranges of the HeaWea device, and it offers a wide variety of uh, frequency transmission starting from 1 microhertz to 2 megahertz, right? With a resolution of 6 decimal places. Okay, 6 decimal places. It operates on 4 modes. It is possible to operate it on 4 modes. The LP, which is the microcurrent mode, the high power mode, Zapper, and the blood purifier mode. Okay, so there are 4 modes. Now, if you have to install the MicroGen software, what is needed? So the system requirements are operating system 32-bit or 64-bit, both do just well. There is no problem. Windows XP onwards, it works on all the operating systems, all the Microsoft operating systems. Okay, so wide variety. Then about the RAM, you just need 512 MB RAM, which is easily available these days on any normal average laptop or PC. So not an issue. Hard disk space is hardly 100 MB. Hardly 100 MB hard disk space is needed. Okay. Processor requirements are again very minimal. You need only Intel dual core processor or later. So that is also easily handled now. Okay. So diving into the different modes of HeaWea. So the low power or the microcurrent mode is ideal for helping people recover from injuries and chronic pain, gentle healing. Therapy with microcurrent frequencies can also help to relax muscles, relieve pain and stiffness. So this is about the low power mode. Okay. So low power mode is highly safe if you want to operate over the shoulders, above the shoulders. So you can easily use the low power mode. The high power mode is delivered. It is meant to deliver the punch to target serious health issues caused by viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. Okay, so if you want a serious Rife device, this mode can be used. The high power mode can be used for the same. MicroGen ensures that you can safely apply these high power frequencies without injury, right? So high power mode is very powerful in that sense. What about the software for MicroGen? It is free to download. The MicroGen software is easily available on the website. So I'll be sharing the links of the same at the end of the presentation. So you can easily download your software from there. If you use a Mac, you need to install Windows for Mac, right? So maybe you will have to use a virtual software, virtual environment to install the same. And it is easily installed on Windows, okay? It is simple to operate. The software is simple to operate. You just need to connect MicroGen to the computer, turn the generator on, select your specific programs, and transfer to the MicroGen. That's all you need to do. The process is very simple, right? Connect the suitable TENS cable and start using it. Okay. When you purchase your HeaWea, these are the accessories available with that. So just have a look here. When you buy the package, you get MicroGen TENS pads. You get a choice to buy white color MicroGen or silver color MicroGen. You get a lanyard so you can hang it around your neck and easily do your day-to-day work. That is why I love HeaWea a lot. You know, it gives me flexibility. So I am getting the contact mode treatment, and at the same time I'm able to move around. So that makes it very powerful for me. Okay. You do get user manual. You do get USB cable to to charge the same, right? You can charge from anything, PC, any old phone charger, everything will work. And you can also use it for data communication, transferring the programs onto your MicroGen through the laptop. And then you also get the TENS cables. Now you get two categories here. One is your low power cable, which is the gold color cable. Another one is the high power cable, which is a silver color cable. Okay, so you get two sets of TENS cables here. You do get portable case. It's a small pouch. You can just carry it with you anywhere. It is very easy. Okay. Now getting into the technical details. So let us quickly go to the hardware specifications. I must stress here that the MicroGen device is a single channel device. So it does offer you only one set of uh, TENS, TENS pad possibility. Okay. So you can use only one set of TENS pads to get the therapy. You have short circuit protection. The output current is limited to 20 milliamps at max. Okay, that is the maximum output current. The output frequency range is limited from 1 microhertz till 2 megahertz. Maximum frequency resolution is 6 decimal places. That means 1 microhertz. Okay, so that is your frequency resolution. Now, as per the change in the voltage, how you select the voltage levels, intensity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have different frequency ranges. If you select 20 volts, the MicroGen converts the output frequency to the range 1 megahertz to 2 megahertz. Okay, so MicroGen is very smart. It will automatically convert it to harmonics if you are selecting 20 volts. If you are selecting 30 volts, then the frequency range is from 500 kilohertz to 1 megahertz. If you select 40 volts, then MicroGen converts it to harmonics from 200 kilohertz to 500 kilohertz. If you are selecting 60 volt, then the frequencies will be reduced down to 200 kilohertz. Okay. But if you're doing the 10 volts, then the entire range is available to you. Okay. So getting to the hardware operation of MicroGen, see, whenever you connect MicroGen to any USB port, let me be very general here. If you connect MicroGen using the USB cable, on the screen, let me quickly show you the ports available on the HeaWea. So you can see here on the left hand side, this is the side view of the device. On the left hand side, you have a 3.5 audio socket here. And this is the socket you can use for connecting your TENS pads. This is a socket you can use for connecting the TENS pads. And on the right hand side, you have a rectangular charging port. In fact, this is a normal charging port we get in every mobile these days. This is the Type C connector. Okay. So this is Type C connector port. And this is where you can use your data communication or the USB cable, right? On the very next side of the charging port, you have a reset button. So reset button, I will be explaining in very shortly. So reset button is not something you will be pressing it every now and then. You are not going to touch it. Okay. It's not needed. Whenever there is a need, then only you should click this button, because this is going to factory reset your device, which you do not want every time, right? So you should not be touching it. Then on the front panel, on the top view of the device, you do see 5 power lights. Okay, these are for different intensity levels. So there are 5 LEDs, green LEDs on the device. So whenever you select the first power, that is the lowest power, 10 volt, then the lowest LED would be blinking, right? So that is the green light, the first light. Then when you press again, please remember it is a short press. If you do want to change the intensity, it is a short press. It is not a long press. Okay. So just below these LEDs, you see a power button. It is a square silver color button. So that is very simple to operate. Okay. Coming back to the theory part, it does not need to be turned on. So MicroGen doesn't have to be turned on when it has to be charged. Okay. So it can be off and it can be charging. There is no problem. If MicroGen is turned on, the LEDs on the front of the MicroGen will flash, indicating the charge status. The moment you turn it on, so the MicroGen will blink, the LED, the respective LED, which will tell you how much percentage of the charge is available in the MicroGen. So usually after 5 hours, the charge indication LED will automatically calibrate. Now, if you want to turn on the device, press for around 2 seconds. Okay, little longer press. That's all. 2 to 3 seconds should do. About the hardware accessories, you get the TENS cables, as I mentioned earlier, and the golden cable is meant for the low power operation or the microcurrent operation. These can be used above the shoulders, right? So if someone wants to give therapy to the forehead area, then you can easily place the TENS pads using the golden cable here. and then you can start getting your therapy. Okay, so this is completely safe. The silver cable you can use for all the other modes, right? So please understand, silver cable is the one you're going to use the most. Okay, and it can deliver signal in the blood purifier mode, zapper mode, and high power frequency applications. Then the most important new feature of the upgraded cable is the green indicator light. So I hope you can see on the golden cable plug. Okay, this is the golden cable plug. You see there is a dot here on the socket. There is a dot. This dot is basically a green LED, right? This blinks or stays on depending on the working status. If it blinks during the BP mode, which is the blood purifier mode, and low power mode at low frequencies, less than 50 Hertz, but stays on during zapper, high power mode, and low power mode at high frequencies greater than equal to 50 Hertz. Okay, so the LED would be blinking in less than 50 Hertz, and it will stay constant during 50 Hertz plus, right? So that is the speed of blinking. So usually it is not visible to us, even if it is blinking, if it is more than 50 Hertz. That is what it is trying to say here. About the TENS pads, these TENS pads are self-adhesive, reusable electrodes designed to be placed on your skin. The size of these pads is 2 inches by 2 inches. Okay, usually sufficient for most of the problems. And please understand one thing, if the adhesive goes bad, if it does not stick anymore, it is a clear indication you should be changing the TENS pads. Do not use the same TENS pads if these are not sticking anymore. Okay, so I suggest you all to buy extra sets of TENS pads, because if the TENS pads are going bad, then you are not receiving the signal properly. It's that simple. So the connector size is 2 mm plug, right? So it is a 2 mm plug. So you can just write it down somewhere while you're ordering. Just remember this. Generally, we suggest to keep the TENS pads quite close to each other while you're giving the therapy. So it's nearly 5 centimeters away, the TENS pads. Okay. So technical details of different modes of the HeaWea MicroGen. So the first mode, which is a very popular mode and my favorite mode, one of the favorite modes actually, is blood purifier mode. And let me tell you, this is based on the Bob Beck blood purifier. So it provides a 27-volt DC signal across a chosen blood vessel, right? So first, it is important to understand the location of the TENS pads when you are doing the blood purifier mode, right? So it has to be placed on the wrist, left and right side. You'll be placing the TENS pad. If you want to use the blood purifier mode, you can use TENS pads like this over the wrist, or vertically like this. Okay, so these are the two placements of blood purifier mode, because you want to target the maximum blood. Okay, so this DC signal reverses direction 7.8 times per second. So that means it is creating a biphasic AC signal of 3.9 Hertz. So that is what is your blood purifier mode. Okay. The recommended therapy time is 2 hours per day for 21 to 30 days. So per day, you will be using it for 2 hours. After 2 hours, the microgen turns off automatically. So that is the beauty of microgen. You don't have to worry about the duration here. Once you are into the blood purifier mode or zapper mode, it automatically turns off after the stipulated time. Okay. Use the silver high power cable for this mode and start at the lowest power setting, which is the LED number 1, the lowest LED. So, see, it depends on how comfortable are you while doing the blood purifier mode. Okay. So, I strongly suggest you to start from the minimum or intensity and then go up slowly, right? So gradually increase the power until 3 LEDs illuminate. So that means talking about 30 volts. So that is the maximum you should be going. If you find the power to be too high, then you can use reduced power level. Okay. Okay. So the next mode is the zapper mode, or I should say the Hulda Clark zapper. So this is a very popular zapper, and the signal from a zapper differs greatly from the blood purifier. The voltage is less here because, as you all know, the voltage is around 9 to 10 volts in classical Hulda Clark zapper. So we are talking about the first power level, that is the first intensity level. Like in the blood purifier mode, I said you will be going up to maximum 3 LED levels, which makes it 30 volts, right? And the classical Bob Beck blood purifier was 27 volts. So that is why we are staying around that range. So the Hulda Clark zapper is around 9 to 10 volts. So we are going for one intensity level, which is 10 volts. So the voltage is lesser, the signal never reverses, and the frequency is higher. So we know the classical Hulda zapper has two frequencies, 2.7 kilohertz and 30 kilohertz. Okay. So these frequencies are way more higher than the blood purifier mode. The protocol is also different from the blood purifier mode, whereas you use the blood purifier mode is a 2-hour therapy session per day. In this case, the Hulda Clark zapper works in this fashion. First, for 7 minutes, it is giving you therapy. Okay, 7 minutes it gives the therapy, then it gives a 21 minutes break. Please mind you, the device is on here, but it is not giving your body any signal, right? So it gives signal for 7 minutes, 21 minutes break, followed by a 7-minute killing session again, the zapping session again, then 21 minutes break again, and finally it is giving 7-minute therapy session. So if I have to summarize the entire session, you are getting 3 7 minutes therapies, 3 7-minute zapping in intervals in break of 21 minutes. Okay. So if you add up all these, you are getting a 63-minute zapping session. So at the end of 63 minutes, the zapper already, the microgen shuts down on its own. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. However, you have to use the silver high power cable for the same and use the lowest power setting. Again, I'm repeating here, which is 1 LED 10 volts. Ideally, the TENS pad should be placed on opposing wrist or across the problem area. See, please understand one thing. I must clarify here because many people wouldn't have read about the Hulda-Clark or Bobbeck protocols. So, Bobbeck protocols are for the blood. So, whatever small size pathogens are there in the blood, we are talking about blood infection, right? Or as a result of zapping, you get pathogens in your blood. So those pathogens can be blood purified using the blood purifier mode. Okay. So if you're talking about Hulda-Clark zapping, you're talking about larger size of pathogens. And I believe everyone knows that we get large size pathogens in our abdomen area, in the stomach area. Okay. So the ideal position for the zapping would be across your abdomen, right? Across your abdomen. That would be the ideal position in general case. However, if you want to address a problem area specifically, you can place the TENS pads across the problem area, right? Around the problem area. So that is how you can do the zapping work if you want to get rid of the pathogens in a localized area, right? So, uh, yeah. So after 63 minutes of the session, the zapping session, the microgen automatically turns off. So you don't have to worry about it, right? It will just give you a quick zap and then go off. It is that simple. Now, so the second TENS pad location also you can just have a look. That is your right wrist and the left ankle. So that is where in general you can also place, if you want to cover the entire body, you can keep the TENS pads here. Now going to see, the previous two modes were the built-in modes. Those were pre-programmed modes, I should say. Now comes the real playful ability of MicroGen, wherein you can supply your own frequencies, own custom programs, stuff like that. You can add your own frequencies to the MicroGen, and then you can get the therapy at your ease, okay, at your comfort. So now for the next two modes, I'm going to spend some time here. For the next two modes, you need program. You need the MicroGen software to be there, right? In fact, for the previous modes also you need, but once you transfer the modes, the job is done, right? But here you need to select the programs and copy to the device before it starts working. So we are talking about the low power mode, wherein you're using the golden TENS cable. MicroGen has programs in the database specifically meant or developed for microcurrent application. You can search for these by typing FSM, frequency specific microcurrent, in the search box. Okay, so you will find the list of those programs which are easily found in the FSM workbook. If you all are aware of the FSM methodology, the therapy, you can have a look at that book. You will find the sets of free frequencies, whatever they have provided available in the MicroGen software. Okay, so you can just type FSM and then you will get a list of those frequencies which you can easily apply on yourself. Coming to the last mode of the HeaWea, it is called the high power mode. Again, it requires programs to be selected or to be working. Okay. For this high power mode, you are going to use silver 10s cable. The high power cable unleashes the full potential of MicroGen to address serious health issues. It is often used in Rife style therapy sessions. Okay, so this is using the full power of the MicroGen. So I highly recommend for any serious rifing work, you can opt for the high power mode. The MicroGen software cleverly applies harmonics of the chosen frequencies to prevent any discomfort at lower frequencies. If some of you already have the spooky 2 generators, you would know that at lower frequencies you feel more zap, you feel lot of power at low frequencies. So HeaWea is cleverly managing that frequency harmonics for you. Okay, so if you are getting a low frequency session, it will automatically convert it to little higher value so that you do not feel the pain while you are getting therapy. Getting to a very important question about firmware update. So what do you mean by a firmware update? So firmware update is recommended to resolve any bug issues from the previous version, right? So if there is any hardware related issue which has to be resolved, then the firmware update is the way to go. And there, in such cases, to sort out such problems, hardware related issues, you know, if the microgen is turning off suddenly, or it is turning on automatically. It's a very simple example I'm giving you here. So that is where firmware update comes in. So it will tackle any hardware related issue. If a bug has been reported to the team, they will bring out a firmware update and they will ask you people to update your firmware. So I really do not recommend to, for the general usage, you should be updating it. It is not needed. Okay. It usually provides enhanced functionality to the hardware or its operations, like auto switching of microgen. Sorry, like auto switching of microgen once the program is over. Okay, so however, the software update is the, while talking about a general software update, so that is different from firmware update. It is meant to provide enhanced software capability or interfacing updation. Okay, so software update is related to the microgen software update. So you got to be updating the software itself. So that has nothing to do with the firmware update. So these are the two differences I wanted to tell you here. But how do we reset, or when do we reset the microgen? Resetting the microgen essentially means to bring down or resetting the entire device to the factory settings. It is done in the case microgen is not recognized by the computer. If you get any such issues or any other persistent issue, then that is the only case I would recommend you people to go for the reset button. Otherwise, do not touch the reset button. Okay. And also, please remember, if you have done any firmware update uh, before the resetting, the entire firmware update also goes off. Okay. The device is resetted to the factory setting. It's that simple. Also, if you had transferred any low power mode, high power mode, or even selected the zapping mode or the blood purifier mode, nothing will be there after that. After you reset the device, you will have to again transfer the programs. Please remember that. Okay. So getting to the software operation, as I said, HeaWea is very simple to operate. Okay. So no worries about that. I'll be explaining here. Now, the software updation, the software of installation part, you have to download the software. You can just write down the link. It is HeaWea.com, HeaWea.com, and inside that you go to the software download. So you can just download the software from there. It is a stable version. Once you download onto your computer, you have to just run the installer by clicking next after you radio tick the yes option. Okay. So once you accept the license agreement, you can go to the next window, and it is very simple to install. After you click next button, you will be asked to save the installation. So you can save it in the default location as well. It is C program files, and inside that a new folder will form called MicroGen. Okay, so that is where you can install your software. Once you select the memory location, you just accept or choose a different installation location and click next. The moment you do that, the MicroGen gets installed easily, and there it will ask you for the option whether you want to launch the program or not. So it's up to you. You can launch it then and there, or you can wait. You can launch it whenever you want to launch, and click finish, and that's it. So once you start the installed MicroGen software using the MicroGen icon on the desktop, so once you start the software, this is the window which will be available to you. So you can have a look. There is a menu on the top. I'll be explaining about the menu. And then on the left hand side, you see there are all the programs loaded onto the MicroGen. Okay. So these are the programs available to you. Similar to the Spooky 2, you have almost the entire program set, the database here loaded directly to the MicroGen. Okay. Now, some information about the software. You will notice that some programs have an asterisk sign next to them. You can see the star on the right hand side. So basically these programs are preferred programs. These have been provided by reputable research sources. So you can feel more confident while using these frequencies compared to the other ones. Okay. So these are pretty safer to use. Not just safe, these might give you better results. Okay. This is just probability of success. That's all. The numbers show the numbers written here show the number of frequencies in each program, right? So if I'm talking about the blood circulation sluggish program visible on the screen, there you see 5 is written. So that means this particular program has 5 frequencies inbuilt. So with the number of frequencies increases, uh, if the number of frequencies increase, you are going to have more time needed. Okay, you need more time to run that because per frequency it is spending 3 minutes. Of course, you can change it manually also, but in general, if you don't change anything, per frequency is 3 minutes. Now, as I said, per frequency is 3 minutes. On this window, you can see there is an option of frequency duration, and then you have 180 seconds, which can be manually changed. Okay, so you can manually change this value at your ease, because once you change the frequency duration on the very right hand side, you will see there is an option where it is displaying number of frequencies. So you see it is 14 frequencies right now loaded onto the HeaWea, and then runtime is 42 minutes. So just note this down. You have these many frequencies, and this is the estimated duration of your HeaWea device, right? And after that, you can see once you change the frequency duration, say to 600 seconds on the right hand side, at the same time, the runtime has increased. It has increased to 2 hours and 20 minutes. So you can configure the time as per your ease and need. Okay, about the software operation. If you notice in my earlier slide, at the bottom of the screen, we see these large buttons there. Okay, you see there are 4 large buttons available to you. These are to set your respective mode. As I said, there are 4 modes of operation. So you will be manually selecting these modes to operate, right? So the software operation is dependent on if you have connected the USB cable and you have connected the MicroGen to the laptop. I am assuming you know that already, okay? So you have to use the USB cable and make a connection to the device, and the laptop, and software should recognize the MicroGen. That is the criteria for this, okay? Once it is ready, it is very simple to copy your programs and start working with HeaWea. So you see 4 buttons on the software. So the leftmost button is blood purifier mode. It is showing you white color circle on the rectangle. If you see carefully. So this is a white circle means it is the silver cable. So you will be using the high power cable for blood purifier mode, Zapper mode, which is showing 63 minutes, and high power cable mode, where it is again showing you the white bubble. So you will be using the high power cable for all 3 modes. However, you see a yellow dot in the low power cable mode so that you remember that you have to use the yellow cable. Now, here is one more thing I must stress here. When you are loading the low power mode, okay, you should be using the same cable, right? Why I'm telling you that here is, if you use the high power cable while delivering the low power cable connection or the programs, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to get any benefit out of it because signal is not there. If you are using high power cable, when you have clicked the low power mode, you are not going to get any therapy. Please remember this. So it is utmost important to select the cable you need actually, okay? So the white or yellow dot inside these buttons indicate the color of the TENS cable you need to use for each mode. The silver cable is for high power frequencies and the golden cable is for microcurrent frequencies. The blood purifier and zapper mode do not need any program to be loaded. You don't have to select manually any program. You just have to click blood purifier and click zapper mode. That's all you need to do. That is why it is very, very, very simple, right? The moment you do that, MicroGen is ready to provide you the frequencies. Okay, getting to the menu system, at the top of the screen, you see a menu which provides more advanced options including several features explained in the next slide. So on the top hand side, you see there is file button, programs button, utils button. So we'll be discussing in the next slide what these mean. Okay. So in the programs section, you see there is a refresh button which updates the loaded databases, right? So whenever you save a custom program, you make your own program or something like that, you can just click programs and then select refresh to update. And then there is another button which is the utils button. Inside that, you can go and select install drivers. So this is perhaps needed for the first time. Okay. You just need to click install driver the very first time you are installing your HeaWea device, right? So just this is a one-time operation usually. And then the very next button is firmware update instructions, which explains how to update the MicroGen software. Okay, how to update the MicroGen firmware, which is a type of software which controls the MicroGen hardware. This is very important to understand. It is recommended to update the firmware to the latest version, and I suggest you strongly go with the customer support, the HeaWea support. If they recommend you to update it, then only you should update it. Bugs may have been found in previous versions or the new features may have been added. So firmware update takes care of that updation. Okay. Then the next option is update firmware, which simply performs firmware update. You can read the instructions before doing that. The final and one of my favorite is test report. So test report provides useful information about the status of your MicroGen, whether the MicroGen is working or not. So it will generate a test report. We'll see how the report looks like. Okay. So checking MicroGen, as I said, we'll be seeing the test report. If you think MicroGen has no output, if you have any doubt, I should say, you can create a test report. Okay. The report causes the MicroGen to produce a low frequency signal at maximum power. Please understand, as I mentioned earlier, lower frequencies give too much of sting. You will feel pain when low frequencies work on your body. So this is easily noticeable, right? So if you click the test report option, MicroGen is going to give a very low signal at maximum power. Maximum power is 60 volts. So it is going to give you sting, so that you understand MicroGen is working properly. So the signal could be painful. So you will have no doubt that MicroGen is working. How the test report looks like prior to that, how do you select it? Go to the utils tab and select test report. And here you see a test report pop-up window will come up, and you can see it will be demonstrating firmware version. All green ticks indicate that the MicroGen is working properly. So this is how you read the test report. It will show you the firmware version. It will show you handshaking. Handshaking means the MicroGen device has properly connected to the laptop. So that is what is handshaking. And it is showing you that I'm giving you a 60 volt zap. So it will show tick mark on that. It will also show you the voltage of your battery, right? So how much is the battery charged right now? So it will show you that. Okay. So it is easier to validate if MicroGen is working with this 50 hertz 60 volt signal. It is that simple. Okay. Now, some details about the software part. So you see on the software, uh, there is a continuous loop mode which is activated by default, right? So you see four dots, and then there is an arrow button which is going from the last dot to the first dot. So that means the programs are automatically looped. You don't have to worry about looping them anymore. So once you click this button, if this icon is visible to you, that means the programs are already in looped fashion. So if you have to stop the programs from running continuously, then you will have to manually off your microgen. You will have to shut down the microgen manually. However, However, if you want to run only the single mode, so this is given by this symbol, four dots followed by a vertical line. That means after one instance of one session of your frequencies, say you are giving five frequencies to the body. So that means 5 into 3, that makes it 15-minute session. So if you want only 15 minutes, not more than 15 minutes, then you will have to select single run mode. You will have to get this icon displayed. That means it is only going to run for 15 minutes and going to turn off after that. How do you search a program in MicroGen software? So as I mentioned earlier, you just go to the search tab here. On the top left, you can see the search bar, and you can type in any issue you are looking for and click the lens icon. You will see the list of programs associated to that keyword. And you also see the encyclopedia. You can read everything about the disease. You can read up what that disease is all about, what has to be taken care, stuff like that. So all the details are given, and you can look for that particular disease easily. Now, once you have located the program you're looking for, now both the low power and high power buttons need programs to be selected first, right? So once you have found out that these are the programs I want to load into the microgen, you just need to select these all. How do you select these? Double click the program or programs you wish to load into the microgen. Please remember there is an upper limit of 1000 frequencies that can be loaded onto the microgen. So less than 1000 frequencies can be loaded. Okay. So how do you calculate the number of frequencies? As I told you in the earlier slide, you can see on the right hand side of the program, the name of the program, say in this case, acidity reduce alkalinity. Okay. So on the right hand side, you see there is one written here. So that means it is counted as one frequency. So if you go to any other program, you will see the number of frequencies. So you can add up and see if these are less than 1000 frequencies or not. Okay. So up to 1000 frequencies you can load onto the microgen. And how do you select these now? You can select multiple programs and press the transfer button. On the right hand side, very next to the program selected, you can see there is a play icon, green color icon. You can select that. And the moment you do that, these programs will get shifted to the right hand side empty window. Okay. So the programs will go to the right hand side now once you select these programs. On the other hand, how do you deselect a program? If you wish to deselect, double click the program you wish to remove. If you double click, the program is automatically deselected. However, if you want to deselect all the programs you have selected, there is a trash can visible on the right hand side of the window. You can do that. It will deselect all the programs for you. Okay, this was about how to load the available programs, right? What if you want to create your own program? So to create your own program, you can select all these programs, right? Select any program from the database and select the play button. All the programs will get loaded onto the right hand side screen. You see cold 1 till cold 6 have been selected here. And once you do that, you can press the floppy icon. This is how you can save your custom program. The moment you click the floppy icon, a pop-up window will open like we get in the Spooky 2 software also, wherein you can enter the program name and you can enter notes. So whatever you want to write it as, you can enter your notes here, and then you see in the frequencies section here, all the frequencies have been listed. So even if you want to write your own program, say it is a biofeedback scan from the Spooky 2 hardware, so you can type those frequencies here easily, copy paste, and you can save it as your own program here. Okay. Once you are done with the addition here, you can click save icon and save to exit, save and exit. Okay. So the program would have been saved now, and then you can click refresh database from the util section. So the database will get reloaded. Okay. And then if you now search for a new program, you will find your own program. So in this current window, it is John Cold Programs. The moment you do that, you search for the same, and then it will show you the loaded programs onto the MicroGen, and that is visible on the right hand side window. This is one of my favorite part. How do you create your custom program for MicroGen, right? That is what many of us want to do. We want to load our own programs. This is little more interesting because these are this gives you a very flexible power to manipulate your own inputs. So special characters are allowed in MicroGen. So you can convert wavelength to frequency, and you don't need to calculate it mathematically on your own. HeaWea does it smartly for you, right? So you can add a prefix before the number. So LX is the example here, where X is the wavelength in nanometers, right? Then you can convert molecular weight to frequency. So capital M is the prefix followed by X, which is the monoisotopic molecular weight in gram per mole. So you can get this data easily, and you can convert any molecular weight to frequency. HeaWea does that for you. And if you want to convert a base pair factor to the frequency, so you can use the format B. Capital B is the prefix followed by X, where X is the number of base pairs within a genome. So if you have that data with you, you can convert it to frequency easily. If you have circular base pair value available with you, then you can use the prefix BC followed by X, where X is the number of base pairs within a circular genome. Okay. Then linear base pair genome. If you have the factor for that available, the code for that is capital B, capital L, followed by X, where X is the number of base pairs within a linear genome. Okay. So MicroGen will convert this to a frequency. Simple example is you can see the last line of the slide, capital L 654. So in this case, 654 is your nanometer. 654 nanometer, you want to convert it to the frequency. Similarly, the very next is capital M 47219, where 47219 is your molecular weight, okay, in gram per mole, and other things also, okay. The same thing continues for other codes. So this is quite configurable. Now, how do you delete a custom program? So we don't want to clutter the microgen. If say you wanted to experiment with certain frequencies, so you could create your custom program, and then now you feel the program is not doing well, or you want to edit whatever, so you might want to delete the custom program. So how do you delete it? You just have to highlight the program you wish to delete and right click on that program. Okay. Once you right click, you will be shown option to delete. And please note, only custom programs can be deleted, not the ones which already came with the software. You can't delete the factory inputted programs. You can delete only custom program. Okay. So once you do right click and delete, you will be given a pop-up window for the final permission, and you can go ahead after that. Okay, this is a very short demonstration video by John White. Thanks to John White for providing this video. And it is just 1 minute video maybe. And you can just have a look how to operate the software easily, right? Just, yeah.
The HeaWea MicroGen software is very simple to use, but it's also very powerful, containing the world's largest database of treatment programs. If you want to turn MicroGen into a blood purifier, you just connect MicroGen through the USB cable to your computer and push one button, the blood purifier button. If you want to turn your MicroGen into a Zapper, again, it's just one button to press. If you wish to treat specific health issues, you search for the health problem, you choose the programs you want to run, you can see them appearing here, and then you can choose either low power application or high power application. Nothing could be more simple than that. HeaWea MicroGen, the most simple but powerful health device available today. The HeaWea MicroGen software
Really simple to operate HeaWea. Now, finally, at the end of the presentation, I would like to show you how easy it is to run HeaWea from Spooky2 software itself. Okay, so this is very important. You know, this I've added this slide for the ease of for the people who are using Spooky2 software since a long time now. So there is option of operating your microgen from the Spooky2 software. You have to go to the programs tab. You go to the programs tab, and then in the Spooky2 software, on the bottom right section, if you see carefully, the bottom right section, you can, just 1 minute, let me have a pen here. So bottom right section, you see, there is microgen section here. So that is where you can run your entire microgen software here. Okay, so you can easily operate your microgen from the Spooky2 software itself. So you see there are 4 buttons here: blood purifier, zapper, low power cable, which is highlighted in yellow color, and high power cable, which is highlighted in white color. Okay. And you see option of dwell here, which is 180-second in front of you, and there is option of uh, continuous mode and the single run mode. So everything is available to you. Once you have your microgen connected, the other operation is very simple. As we learned in the HeaWea software, microgen software, the same holds good here too. Okay. Now, taking some questions. These are the questions for you. Just 1 minute. Ah, let me go to the question answer section here. Okay. So these are few questions I've taken from the website, which are coming to everyone's mind. So I would like to answer these general questions. First, is HeaWea MicroGen easy to use? Yes, it is easy to use. You just have to connect MicroGen to the computer, turn the generator on, select your programs, and transfer the programs to the MicroGen to run. It is that simple. Okay. For how long do we need to charge it? So the battery is easily recharged from any computer or power bank or mains adapter USB port. It typically charges in less than 5 hours. For extended sessions, HeaWea MicroGen can be run continuously from a USB port without any damage to MicroGen. Okay. So if you want to run for longer time and you are confused because the power does not last longer or something like that, so you can straight away connect it with the USB cable, and you can see, please understand, you can also use your uh, Type C power connector, Type C power cable for the microgen HeaWea. So nowadays everyone has Type C cable at their homes, right? So it is easier to operate HeaWea. Can HeaWea MicroGen perform biofeedback scan? So this is a question I have come across several times. I'm admin of the HeaWea group too. So it is a question which everybody has in their mind. Can HeaWea do biofeedback scan? Simple answer is no, it can't do, because HeaWea is only a transmission device. It is able to send out the signal. It cannot read. It cannot provide any biofeedback functionality to you. Okay. Can we run biofeedback results or the hits from Spooky 2 software on HeaWea? Yes, you can. You can import your biofeedback results from Spooky 2 into the microgen software and then load it into HeaWea and run the same using high power or low power connections. Okay, it's up to you. So what you will have to do, you will have to save your own custom program. We learned how to do it already. So you can save, change the frequencies as per your biofeedback hits, and you can save them here. Okay. Please remember, HeaWea will convert all the frequencies higher than 2 megahertz to below the 2 megahertz values. Okay. It is going to downgrade your frequencies, right? Who shouldn't use HeaWea MicroGen? People with pacemakers, implanted pumps, uncontrolled seizures, and during pregnancy. We don't suggest such people to use HeaWea. How to ensure if the machine is working if I can't feel anything? The indication lights will show if HeaWea MicroGen is charged and running, right? Otherwise, you can also generate test report as we learned earlier. You can also see if it is working or not for you. When we load frequencies into HeaWea MicroGen, will it override the previous frequencies? Absolutely yes. So if you remember in the Spooky 2 software, we used to click override generator, right? Allow override generator. But in this case, it is automatically overwritten. So the moment you transfer new programs, the previous ones go off. Okay. How to ensure if the machine is working? Okay, this is already taken care of. How many microgens can be used at the same time? So you can use multiple microgens onto your body. There is no problem. You can use 2 microgens if you wish to. Now, these are important links. Read, and I'm also going to copy these links onto the chat box, right? So this is the link from where you can download the software, and you can email the support team. Also, I have my YouTube channel where I have made several videos about HeaWea, uh, technical look into HeaWea, different modes, how to upgrade the HeaWea firmware. So I have many videos on my YouTube channel. You can have a look at these videos too. These are the links you can use to reach me. I do offer one-on-one training on all the Spooky 2 devices. So if you want any one-on-one training, you can approach me. I will help you out. Okay. This is the end of the presentation. And let me have a look at the questions now. Okay. So let me quickly write the details, or I should provide the details to you all in the chat box so that all of you can have a look. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm just typing all the details here in the chat box. All of you can have a look. For any such videos, you can click those links and you can subscribe to the channel and share with your loved ones. Okay. And let me tell you, HeaWea is a very powerful device, right? Especially, it is giving you the feeling of Rife therapy. It is not meant for serious diseases. Let me clearly tell you, if you want to handle your day-to-day work, you want to experience the Rife therapies, this is an excellent device. And my parents have used this for a longer time, blood purifier mode, zapper mode. So it is a no-brainer. You know, it's very easy to use. I recommend everyone to have one device. It is very powerful. Okay, now let me have a look at the Q&As. Okay, Elizabeth is saying she has downloaded uh, the software. My computer does not recognize HeaWea. Okay, so did you change? Okay, Elizabeth, simple thing is you can change the USB port and check if it is working. Just change the USB port and try that, right? And make sure your device is turned on when you are connecting it to the computer. If device is not turned on, then it is a problem, right? It will not get recognized. So make sure your device is turned on when it has been connected to the computer. And maybe restart the computer, restart the device, it should work. Mr. Shankar has asked which power setting is the most effective for treatment. There is no recommended power setting. Okay, there is no recommended power setting because it depends how comfortable a person is to it. Um, I use it 50 to 60 volts easily without any problems, and it is, I would go for higher power rating if it was me, right? So it depends on you, how comfortable it is. All the power settings are equally effective. There is no problem with that because current gets adjusted automatically. So you are getting ultimately the same power level, voltage into current. So it takes care of that. Don't worry about it. effectiveness is difficult. Over time, you will have to understand, Shankar. Sophia, going to the next question. Sophia, why are the contact programs on HeaWea shorter than the contact program on GenX? For example, on GenX, there are lots of options for a particular item, while on HeaWea, it's only one option. It is shorter than GenX option. Is there a difference in the effectiveness of the treatment? Sophia, it is, as I said, effectiveness is not, we can't say that, See, please understand, I told you, HeaWea converts uh, all the higher frequencies to less than 2 megahertz. That is the upper limit of HeaWea device. Okay. So HeaWea converts any frequency to less than 2 megahertz. So yes, it can be that Spooky 2 software was offering maybe way higher than 2 megahertz. That is why John White decided to maybe ignore that frequency. So yes, HeaWea will give you little lesser number of frequencies, but that doesn't mean that HeaWea frequencies or HeaWea MicroGen database are little less effective, or having more programs in Spooky 2 is more effective. Please understand, it is open to us, open to the experimentation. Okay, so we can't say if less or more are more effective. Sorry, no. Okay, going to the next question. Sue Ann, okay. Sue has asked, can we use blood purifier on someone with a large clot? Like my husband has a blood clot from his ankle to his groin. How often can we run every other day? See, Sue, I have answered this question already. I think the second part I mean. So there is a protocol you will have to follow if you're going for the blood purifier, right? So yes, I think it is safe on him to do the blood purifier mode. Okay. But please remember, I suggest go for the lesser power rating for this case. Go for the least setting, the power 1 setting, right? Go to the next question, Zara. Kate question is, with a 10-volt setting, it seems that microgen could be used as a vagus nerve stimulator. A vagus nerve stimulator. I will have to search for that. But yeah, that makes sense because I have also read that somewhere. Yes, with the 10-volt setting, you can use it as a vagus nerve stimulator. So, Kate, my simple suggestion would be check the microgen software. If it is not there, make your custom program. Okay. So if you have uh, if you know the frequency about it, if I remember, it was a very low frequency for vagus nerve stimulation. You can make a custom program and get the treatment. Okay. So not an issue. I think, Kate, you can do it manually too. Sophia, uh, when there are lots of options in a program like bronchitis, you should there. How do we know which one to choose? Uh, Sophia, I think I've already mentioned in my presentation that there is a strict mark on every program, right? So many programs have the asterisk mark. So if you find that star mark, those are the preferred programs for that particular issue. Okay. So you can use those programs. Okay, Daniel has asked, microgen settings appear in the lower right corner of the standards. Yes. Is it possible to control the HeaWea from this software without separate HeaWea software? Yes, Daniel. That's a very good question. Thank you for asking that. Yes, it is possible without working on the microgen software. You can simply work on Spooky 2 software. That is the reason I stressed on that slide this time. Debbie has asked, my uh, output quit working. What would cause that? Okay. Do you mean the HeaWea stopped suddenly? What are you trying to ask here? So no problem, Debbie. Just shut down your HeaWea device. Again, switch it on. Okay. If nothing is working, then try for the reset button. Reset the device to the factory settings. Then again connect to the system. It should work. Don't worry, Debbie. The Spooky 2 team, HeaWea team will have you. Zara, please assist Debbie if there is any problem. after the suggestions I've given her. Okay. Going to the next question, James, how do you synchronize two microgen units so you can do FSM recommended channel A and B treatment? James, my friend, two devices, you will have to click both at the same time. But I think, James, is not an issue. Synchronization is not an issue because more than synchronization, James, it is important to cross the frequencies, the intersection point when you are talking about FSM treatment, right? So you need frequencies to be supplied at the same time, uh, passing through your problem area. Okay. So I would suggest you can increase the time. Say instead of 180 seconds, you can make it 190 second on the one where the signal has been delayed. So it is not an issue. Anonymous attendee, used for cancer. I would say used for healing work for cancer cases, right? So as I said, it is uh, not recommended for such serious issues. For such serious issues, you will have to go to the Spooky 2 Central Unit. Thank you for that question. Ruth, thank you. Okay, Q&A. Thank you, Ruth. Manisha has asked, how do I know which frequencies to run with high power or low power cables beside the Zapper and blood? Manisha, that's a good question. See, please understand, it is more related to the position of the tense pad. Okay. So if you are trying to give therapy in this area above the shoulder, we are going for low power mode, the low power cable, which is the golden cable. Okay, so this has to do with the location of the treatment, location of the therapy, instead of which frequencies you are running. Sorry, that's a twisted question. So you will be giving therapy above the shoulder using the low power setting. Any frequencies can be given. Is that clear, Manisha, now? If you are going for below the shoulder area, then you can go for low power or high power both and any frequencies. But if you are going for above the shoulder, only low power mode and any frequency. Okay. Thank you for that question. Anderson has asked, how do I know which frequency for high power or low power cables? So frequency is something, say we are searching for a specific disease, right? When you are using a device, you already have something in mind, isn't it? So you search for that issue, and then if you find related frequencies, you can give back to the HeaWea, load and start running. It's that simple. Otherwise, you can make your own custom program, do some research on internet, and you can save your own program. Okay. I think all the questions have been answered. Thank you, everyone. And let me see. Yeah, last one is also answered. Okay, so chat box, let me see if there is anything else I've left. Okay, hello to everyone. Thank you. Okay, yeah, Canada. Okay, and the replay of this video would be provided in 2 to 3 business days, and maybe HeaWea team will inform you once it is done. Okay. Okay. Recordings would be available. People who should not receive frequency include those. Yeah, I'm just reading the chat box. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you for liking the presentation. Thank you. I hope you understood many things. Mm. Freddy, MicroGen device, if you see, it is a portable Rife device, let me tell you. But if you want biofeedback functionality, you will have to go for the Spooky 2. If you are already experienced with the Rife work, the biofeedback work, then I would say you should expand your tools and get a HeaWea. you, Sophia. I think this webinar was useful to you. uh, oh, many people have answered these questions. Okay. Okay. Again, I'm repeating here for the people who are getting this recognition problem that the laptop is not recognizing HeaWea or it is not working. So please pay attention if the device is turned on or not. If the device is off, what will it connect to? Please understand this. Okay, it is simple. Just turn on the device, the HeaWea will be recognized. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. You like the presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Georgina. Thank you, Marit. Okay. Thank you, Natty. Thank you, Frank. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Anu. Thank you for liking the presentation. I will again enter the details for you all. Thank you. Mr. Wang has asked about the list of diseases. So if you followed the presentation, everything was discussed, Wang. Please have a look at the presentation. Yeah, for neuropathy also, you can start working. There will be some frequencies definitely related to that, or maybe you can try some uh, molecular weight frequencies to address the issue. For serious diseases, I meant, yeah, talking about the Lyme or maybe the cancer. So you should better go for the Spooky 2 devices in that case. Okay. Manisha has asked about multiple tense pads. Uh, Not an issue. You can place the way you want. Okay. I don't think so. There is any problem with using multiple tense pad with HeaWea. Okay. HeaWea will take care smartly. Thank you, Wang. Thank you. Thank you for liking the presentations. Um, Thank you, Heidi. You liked it. Thank you. You liked the presentation. How do you know where to put the tense pads for the program that are not? Uh, Danto has asked about the placement of the pads, not in the Zapper and blood purifier mode. See, uh, you can look into any other Spooky 2 presentation. I have mentioned several times about the 10 pad placements. So general answer is, Danto, you can keep it around the problem area. Okay. 5 centimeters or so, maybe 10 centimeters. That's all. That should be good. If you know the problem area, place the tense pads across the problem area, right? You can, okay, if any links are not working, so you can just get into the channel. You can subscribe the channel and then you can scroll down the video sections to find the HeaWea videos. Okay, not an issue. Janet, the pads I mentioned in the slide, one was right wrist and left ankle. That is the general tense position for the entire body, right? So pads, Sophia, above the shoulders, you can, I was talking about the cheek area or the forehead area. That is what I meant by above the shoulders. Neck area, that was, that's what I was doing. Thank you, Manisha, for liking the presentation. If you need any more tense pads, I suggest you all to strongly get extra pair of tense pads from the Spooky 2 team. They are also selling, uh, I think Zara can give you the link. They are also selling the tense contact kit, wherein you get socks, gloves, okay? The ankle bands, you are getting those contact accessories also. You can get those if you don't want to order the sticky tense pads, right? So there are good options they are giving you. For headache, for headaches, of course, forehead area. So yeah, Sophia, thank you for the review. So everyone, please, you can order a tense contact kit which has gloves, socks, etc. Okay, for senior citizens, it is easier in that case. So I would suggest you can get the tense contact kit also. That is better. Yeah, James, thank you for mentioning. That is why I have mentioned right wrist and left ankle and not doing the other way. Left wrist and right ankle, don't do it. Okay. So keep it right wrist and left ankle. The reason is we are bypassing the heart, right? We don't want to go across the heart. Yeah. Pookie 2 does not recommend going with that. Now, please understand one more thing, James here. James, this is very important for you to understand. Spooky 2 gives way more higher current as compared to the HeaWea device. So you are always safe with HeaWea. Even if by mistake anything happens, HeaWea is good enough to handle because at max it is giving you 20 milliamperes, James. So it's safe. Okay. But still, we don't recommend to cross the heart. Ashley, you will have to search for the program regarding that for the hair loss, right? There could be many programs for that too. Can you connect the power cord on while the programs are running without worrying? Yeah. Why not? That's okay. Tanto, you can do that because it is contact mode ultimately. Okay. So if you want, you can connect the power cable. I would suggest go for the USB one only. That is what you have. I usually do it with my laptop. So with laptop, you are getting more stabilized power to the HeaWea. Okay. Thank you, James. Uh, uh, yeah, that's a very good point. Sarah, Beata has asked about if there is any other language available for the software. Okay, so maybe you could take it as a good suggestion from her. It's a very good suggestion. Thank you. Yeah, I'm again, Sophia. That is a tricky question because it would mean that I am also recommending to buy Spooky 2 uh, before buying HeaWea. So that's okay for you, I understand. But in general, I can't recommend that. However, if your body is free of toxins, if it is able to, if it is better detoxed beforehand, yes, it is recommended to have your body detox before going for zapping. Okay. But that's okay. I leave it to the choice of the person, but I don't think it is going to overload the body with HeaWea. This is this is a good device, I believe. And if anybody has Spooky 2, they can detox their body, and after that they can do this work. Or I forgot to mention here, you can copy the terrain protocol frequencies to the HeaWea and get contact mode HeaWea terrain protocol. Okay, that should do too. That's a good question. That is a good suggestion too, Sophia. Thank you. So you can also do terrain protocol on HeaWea and then go for the zapping. That would be a better option. Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone for attending the webinar, and I hope